This is the diagram for your weak entity set. Now here you can see, just wait a moment, let the diagram open. For loan and payment relationship, we are representing the weak entity. Now see what is happening in this case. Here we are having one officer entity, another one is payment entity. You can rename this entity with the loan entity. Now what will happen in this case? This loan will be dependent on a particular payment. That's we say a loan can't exist without, a payment can't exist without loan. So there, if anyone is paying something, then it means any installment or the payment for a loan is being done, then it should be for a loan. It can't exist independently. So this attribute, a loan entity has loan number and amount. Loan number is the primary key. So this loan entity has a primary key. That's why it is called a strong entity. And in this case, payment is weak entity and it is dependent on the loan entity for its existence. And the relationship is loan payment in this case. Now next we have entity sets. So here we are having entity sets. One entity is instructor, another entity is student, and the attributes for the entity are ID, name, and the salary, and for student ID, name, and total credit. So we say graphically they are represented with the help of a rectangle, and if there are any attributes, they are represented inside that. Now this is example of relationship set. How the two entities are related with each other. So relationship is basically association between the entities. Now see here we say an instructor advises a student. So instructor is advising the student. So in this case there is association and we have given a name to the relationship set and that name is advisor. Now we can have this thing that is a relationship attribute can also be there. That is a relationship may consist of attribute also. We can attach attribute with relationship. Here it is advised that this instructor is advising this particular student on the given date. Now we have roles. Basically entity sets of relationship need not be distinct. They can have duplicates also. So each occurrence of an entity set plays a very important role in the relationship. In this case, these are the relationship. Relationships are being represented on the association lines. They are represented on association line. In this case, this is a relationship. There may be another entity. Here we can have another entity, and this is related to that entity. So we are having these as rules. Then we have cardinality constants. So basically cardinality is the degree of association, that how much one entity is related to other, the instance of occurrences. So the cardinality may be one to one, many to many, many to one to many, and these type of relationships are possible. The associations are possible. Now we can express the cardinality either by drawing a directed line that may be consisting of arrows, or there may be a simple line. If we are using these directional arrows, this arrow, it means it is a one-to-one relationship. Here instructor entity is related with student with the association and the cardinality is one-to-one. So exactly one instructor is related to exactly one student. So or you can say at most, and this directional arrows represents one. So the directional line basically is signifying one, and the undirected line is signifying many. And one-to-one relationship between instructor and student is being shown in this case, which shows the student is associated with at most one instructor only by the relationship advisor, and the student is associated with at most one department. And if there is many to many relationship, so there is no directional arrow, there is no arrow here, no arrow here, it means the relationship is of many to many. So the many to one relationship is possible between the instructor, and many to many relationship is possible. In this case it is being said that an instructor is associated with at most one student via the advisor. And here this is one arrow, it says, and a student is associated with several instructor via the advisor relationship. And if we talk about many to many, then there is no directional arrow can be removed. It says a student is associated with several instructors via advisor, and an instructor is associated via several students via the relationship advisor. This is the one full-fledged diagram for the association. In this case, we are having entities like course, instructor, department, student, section, classroom, and time slot. These are the basic entities in our case. So this type of relationship is being represented. If there is a weak entity, then the relationship will the association will consist of double lines. Now we say that this course can be opted within this department, and this instructor is being linked with other students through the advisor relations. So many, this side many and this side is one, and instructor teaches a particular section, and this section is being taught by instructor, so it has no independent existence. At the same time, if classroom is a strong entity, suppose CSC 6th is a class and it has sections ABC, and if we write simply ABC, then they will be having no existence because the section is dependent wholly solely on the classroom, because a section can't be existing without the classroom here. So next we have time slot. There may be certain timetable values or whatever you can consider. The section student within a section, student takes grade also, but the student must belong to certain section. So there is one association between these also. You can name the relationship as you feel comfortable. There is no such issue, but these should be self-explanatory. That is, name should be easy to understand. Now there may be sample question. Here we are saying student and college are two relationships, and these students between student and college is many to one. That says uh, student can opt for one college only. So the relationship here we are saying college is many and many to one, and college can have many students. However, a student cannot study in more colleges. At the same time, student and entity has attributes such as student ID, student name, student address, and college ID, and it has these four attributes. This will be the ER diagram that will be drawn for that. Here we are having two entities, student and the college entity, and here we say student ID, and these are the three attributes, and these are the attributes that are being specified. So the relationship is being in this direction. Next, we have participation constraints. So participation constraint specifies what type of participation is there. There may be total participation or partial participation also. If we talk about total participation, it means each entity in the entity set must participate in the relationship. That is, if a student must enroll in a particular course. Now, in this case, we say a student should, it is mandatory for a student to enroll in a given course. Then, or we can also say that each student must enroll in a course. Then the participation of the student will be total in the case. And the total participation is represented with the help of double lines. And if we talk about partial participation, then we say the entity and the entity set may or may not participate in the relationship. If some courses are not enrolled by a student, then the participation will be partial. Now, if we say each student must be enrolling in a particular course, and there may be some courses that are not being joined by any of the student, then we say that on the course side the participation is partial. Otherwise, if all the courses are being opted by the students, and the participation is known as total participation. Now this is the example for your total participation of an entity set. Here it says a total participation of an entity set is representing that each entity in the entity set must have at least one relationship in a relationship set. For example, in this example, what is being shown? Here says student and this side college. So inside the college we have total participation. This says that college entity set in the study in relationship set. This indicates that each college must have at least one student associated with it. So that's why on this side this is a total participation, and here it is partial participation. So as per your need, you can design the participation as being total or as being partial. So any doubt in this lecture? In today we have discussed about basics of ER diagram and about the drawing of these diagrams. If you have any query, then you can ask your queries now. If any student is not having any query, then you can leave the session.